Welcome to the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room, starring Rocky DiStefano, Phil Pasquale, Delano Williams, and Mark Mullen, with featured guest former NFL pro Antone Davis. Fantasy football, real results.
Big snafu. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room.
Man, you're so heavy-handed with that, just like drop off.
I don't trust you guys to not speak during the intro at all. Zero. So, anyways, but welcome to another episode. So,
yeah, what's going on, man?
Good to be here.
Yeah, I think I've had one of those weeks, I think, where I've been chewed up and spit out. Like, it's been a really rough week.
Work-wise or home life-wise?
A little bit of everything.
All
we've
around.
got some repairs being done at home, so our house is kind of torn up.
The
torn
chateau?
apart. Yeah, the
Chateau.
mansion is like, feel like we were kind of redoing the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
So,
It's nice of you.
yeah, I'm going to let Phil stay there.
Really? Like, you want me to come use your Peloton? It's ridiculous.
I do. I want you to come use the Peloton.
This guy invited us to use his Peloton. He's like, first of all, I'm not driving 15 miles to go ride in a Peloton.
I mean, listen, I'm a giving
house.
person.
Then he offers a shower to us. I mean,
I did.
I mean, that's nice, though.
Yeah,
it's nice, but it's a little creepy, too.
Yeah.
It's
So
not.
you got cameras in the bathroom?
Phil,
the hell's going
I've already
on?
seen everything you got to
didn't
offer.
see.
It's true.
I don't
First of
need
all,
anything.
You didn't see.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I got the urologist.
Urology view. Well,
Urologist.
I can't tell with his urologist. I don't know what side that means you saw, because he's got someone special, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm an adult virgin.
Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
what's crazy? What's crazy about that is that he's serious. I mean, I don't know how to take the Peloton thing. Like, is that like Phil? You need to lose weight.
It's all the above.
What is that?
All the above.
It's like somebody offering you a piece of gum. It's like my fucking breadstick.
So this is what it is. I'm a giving person. I'm excited about the Peloton. Some of us are actually using the Peloton. I don't think Mark, have you been on the Peloton yet? It's a no. It's a quick no.
Well, no. Yes.
How much did you pay for the
I've been on
Peloton,
it.
Mark?
I don't even know, man.
Yeah,
The wife's
it's like
paying for it.
$3,800. I'm just saying.
She's putting you to shame with the Peloton.
She is.
For
And
sure.
She's losing weight. She's firming up. She's looking good.
She's gonna leave you soon.
That's what happens. First they start riding the Peloton, then they're gone. So you've been on it.
I've been on it.
But you've not
I've
exercised.
He hasn't
No, I
pedaled.
haven't exercised on it.
You just
I've
sat
tried
on it.
Well, I've trialed the seat.
How'd you feel?
It feels all right. I think I'm gonna get some of those biker pants with like the padded ass.
For the bike or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be up in my bedroom, and maybe every once in a while I'll open the blinds so you can get a good shot of
I'm not gonna be looking, but
my padded ass.
So what I want to see is, now that he doesn't got to drive 50 miles and use my shower, is he going to hop on your
no, I'm not
Peloton?
going next door to his house to ride a
not?
Peloton. I will never go to another man's house to ride a bike in his bedroom.
You got all kind of rules. It doesn't make
I
any
mean,
sense.
when you put it that
so
way,
let me ask you
it
something. If
sounds
I had a
kinda bad.
Peloton in my bedroom, I'd say, Rocky,
Yeah, absolutely.
you and Trish, come over. You come over with your gear, a gym bag,
What
and ride
gear
the
do you need?
Peloton. I'm just saying, you're
Your
coming in your
padded
workout
shorts and
stuff.
that's it.
You're not going to do it.
I am going to
No,
do it.
you wouldn't.
I
You would never do
I'm
it.
that
you just
weird.
buy a Peloton.
Okay, I call your bluff.
Call my
Invite
bluff
me
what?
over to use your disco ball in your garage or whatever you got.
My disco ball. Now you're just jealous, hating on the man cave.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny.
well, anyways. So what else happened? What's up this week?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
What about him?
He made some news. Him
I
and his
actually
father
haven't heard
made some
this.
comments. Yeah, so
I completely missed this.
yeah, I don't have the father's comment. I probably have him here in this article if I keep going. Oh yeah, I got it. So basically, what he said was, I'm going to quote him here. Here's a quote. They were asking him about if he has to prove his doubters wrong. Does he have a chip on his shoulder? Stuff like that. And he said, it's hard to explain that because I want people to know I'm passionate about what I do. It's really important to me, but I don't have this huge chip on my shoulder. Everyone's out to get me, and I'm trying to prove everybody wrong. He said, I just don't have that. I can't manufacture that. I don't want to. there's also more in life than playing football. So now, see, that's what I'm saying. And that's because, you understand what that means in the newspapers and everything. For a guy that's going to get drafted first overall to say there's more in life than playing football.
Bud Light.
Suck one.
That's pretty much what he said.
Yeah. And then I think his father backed it up. Basically saying, Trevor could walk away from this any day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, his father said, I want to look for it.
Maybe they don't want him going to Jacksonville. Maybe that's what it's about.
So wasn't that the knock?
I thought of that.
Wasn't that the knock?
Rosen?
Rosen, yeah. Remember they?
But I don't think it was true, Rosen. I just think he liked to have fun with.
That's almost like that's a Ricky Waters comment. For who? For what?
We know how that turned out.
Yeah, that was a career ender for Ricky.
It sounds like nothing, but it's a big deal for your quarterback to say something like that.
Your franchise. You're putting everything for the next 10 years.
Let me tell you who
unless you're
reminds
Chicago.
Me of. Yeah, Chicago. They go through quarterbacks.
Trubisky should have. I wish Trubisky would have said that. Chicago wouldn't have traded up for him.
I am kind of reminded. Andrew Luck said something similar.
Yeah.
And look, he didn't need it, and he proved it. Now I do think he got hurt, but. He got paid a lot of money and then walked away.
Well, what's funny is the first thing, not to cut you off, the first thing I thought when I heard this was, are they trying to get the Jags not to pick him?
Yeah, it's what
Is he trying to force his way to New York?
Well, Eli pulled the same thing too. Eli said, I won't play for San Diego.
Well, he just said he won't play for them. That's different than saying.
Eli was a little bit of a prick there.
Would you want to play for San Diego?
Yeah.
Do you know the conditions of that franchise at that time?
Surf or ski. Whatever. Remember with that movie?
You don't even, you're biased. You don't even want to watch them on TV.
Yeah,
that's true. But I'm saying at that point that they had like the oldest stadium in the league.
Yeah, that's
before they upgrade. They weren't a well taken care of franchise. So.
John Elway did it too. John Elway came out and said, I will not be
forced to
Colt.
trade from the Colts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
What are you going to do? But yeah, I think it definitely raises some alarms. I just thought.
So talk about raising some alarms. What about Deshaun Watson here? What are we hearing?
How about him?
Is there any new news?
Is there anything new? I know.
Well, what I heard new is that Watson's lawyer. Now, Ange, I know we talked to you about it last time. We kind of gave you the roundabout. So there's about now 25, 26 women.
26 women.
That have made claims that he, I guess, an assault, which is like maybe him propositioning them.
Well, no, some have said that he actually touched them with
his stuff,
which is crazy.
But then 18.
Let's not get too deep into that barrel.
Yeah, but then 18 women came out or masseuses came out and said he's never done that with me.
So, like I said, it could be a mixed bag where he's But what just happened was that the Watson's lawyer filed a motion to get the women that are accusing him of this that they had to identify themselves. Now, I think this was like something he was planning. He didn't think they would, and I think about like 8 or 20 of them are saying they're going to put their names to it. So it kind of backfired.
But still haven't, though, right?
No, they're saying they will, so they're going to. This just happened, I think, like Thursday. I mean, not Thursday, like Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I think either by the end of this week or early next week, they'll be putting their names to the claims. There's maybe 1 or 2 that said they wouldn't for now. They still have the option to do so later. But, it's kind of, it's a little crazy because now what he thought he was going to scare them off, and now it's looking even worse. And what's crazy, it's not criminal, the case. It's a civil case. So, take all of our bias and like morally what we think is right out of it. If his lawyer was good, they could have just paid these women off before any of this came out.
Right.
And they wouldn't have had to deal with it.
Well, unless these women wanted to come out because they want them punished, but it's not a criminal. But, I think there's punishment where you go to jail and there's punishment where you're never the same. And I think this is what.
But he's also, and the thing is from the beginning, instead of taking that posture, because this is what's interesting about it. I'm trying to keep Angie engaged here, is that he also said from the beginning, like he's denied doing, like that's what I'm saying. Like if he felt like he was guilty about something, knowing there's all these women that are saying stuff, he could have just paid them off and had it go away. But what he did is he's like denied it and saying he didn't have, and he's willing to go fight it in trial. So that's what's crazy to me, because it seems like if all these women are willing to put their name on paper, make their identities known,
that there's something true.
That's
there.
true, but then Deshaun Watson being willing to take it to trial also tells me maybe he doesn't think he did anything.
Right. And I have a completely new take on this. And, it's crazy. I want to see the specifics of this come out. This almost sounds like it's like maybe like Hand and Stone employees versus some of the maybe not so mainstream massage
What's
parlors.
Hand and Stone?
It's like a chain.
Yeah, it's like a
franchise.
chain, like
Oh,
massage
okay.
parlor, where like you're signing waivers for them to like touch certain areas where you have knots. Like they want to know
got it.
specifically where they're allowed to touch you and all that kind of
So
stuff.
like all like
On the up and up.
yeah. And so where's the places that you go?
All right, so the wife and I had a fantastic date weekend last
So a
weekend.
guy's named Dave. He's the back alley.
No,
Do you go to the buffet first? Or?
No. Let me paint you a picture, right? So we go to this place. We'll remain unnamed.
No,
but
see, I got to know the name.
no, I can't. I don't think I can say it on air.
Blooming
But,
Lotus.
I mean, we
No?
did our
Okay.
homework, and high marks, and now I question who was given the high marks. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we get there, right, and we get the couples massage. So they put you in, they put you in the same room, and I have a lady masseuse. The wife has a male masseuse.
Face down or face up?
You always start face down.
Okay.
So
Always. Okay.
Let me just tell
Wait,
you.
I'm going to stop. Angie, have you ever got a massage in your life?
Yeah, I thought it was so weird. I literally didn't know you actually get like
Yeah.
undressed and stuff.
Yeah, but was it a male or a female?
It was a male.
See, that I can't do that. I
You
like
definitely can't do a male.
It was because I went with me and my dad, and he didn't want to get massaged by a male. So it was like they had two people available, and I was like,
I respect your dad. I like him more because I would never allow. And listen,
And that- I
I
know-
don't care what you're into. I can't be touched by man.
And I know
But you also don't want to be touched by a woman.
Well, no, a
I
hot
don't.
woman.
I don't.
A hot woman, but I will
Any
say,
woman.
you would have loved my masseuse because she was firm, and she looked like
What is that?
she looked like Ms. Swan from Mad TV. I mean, it was like
That's
I will.
Can you put a picture of this?
I'll spare you the. He looking like a man. Anyway, all right. So let me
firm.
paint this picture, right? So now
I don't want this picture painted. I'm good with the
So-
blurry.
So what I'm saying is with Deshaun Watson, I don't know. After this experience, I don't think there's a gray area, right? It's either he's guilty and he did
Yes.
something super egregious,
Yeah.
or this is all phony. Because we get in, right? We go into our room. They open the door like 6 times while you're getting changed, right? Oh, you're ready, right?
Yeah.
So then we get ready, right? So you keep your boxers on, you lay face down, you're covered up, right?
Well, why did you go? I mean, is this just like incredible timing that you went like a week after we talked about Deshaun Watson getting massages?
Well, it's because we haven't been for like over a year, and man, you got to treat your body right.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the timing of it. I just find interesting.
Let's just say
Something spurred.
I wanted to do some reconnaissance on whether or not I thought he was guilty. I thought it'd be good for the show.
I respect that.
So
Okay.
what do you think? Do you think
doing-
he's
I'm doing
guilty or do you
some
think
super
he's
homework.
innocent?
He's saying it's black and white. Like there's
No.
gray area,
There-
right?
there- it is, yeah, it's
Not
either
black
black,
and white.
or white.
Yeah.
There's no gray area. So they come in. She wastes no time, dude. She hops up on the table with me, right? So I'm face
Excuse
down.
me?
She hops up on the table. She's got her knees in my lower back. She's got her elbows in my upper back.
What's the name of this place?
Stands like remains unnamed. Right? I mean, you want to talk about getting
She
deep?
starts smacking you.
So, no.
Tell me what you know.
No,
Was it
but-
like an
But
interrogation?
then she gets like, because I'm a big dude. I'm 6'4", right? So my legs
Take it easy.
are bigger,
Yeah.
right? So you hold a lot of stress in your ass, man. She attacked my ass. I swear to God. She told me I had no polyps in my distal colon. I mean, that's how involved this massage was. But
Was this
honestly-
in Kissimmee?
huh? No, it wasn't in Kissimmee. But anyway, so the point
This
is
was in,
like.
this was in off Mills Avenue in Orlando. It's right where it is.
This is on the OBT. No. So the point is like they're going to get in there and like they're going to get personal, right? So they're going to massage areas. So for him to be guilty, like he would have. I should file a complaint against my masseuse. Like that's how. That's how up close and personal she was. So
Yeah.
for Deshaun to honestly be guilty, like something super egregious.
But
like
what if
must
he
have been-
asked, like, can I have a happy, like the stuff we see in the movies, is there a happy ending?
So let me get to that.
I'm saying you could construe that, like if I wanted to make a case out of that, I could make a case out of
well,
that too.
first of all, let me ask
this
you
portrait's
one-
only halfway done.
It's a follow-up question.
Yeah.
The guy who's massaging your wife while you're getting
Is he on top of the table?
you're getting kneed in the back.
Is he
Yeah.
on top of the table?
Is he a
He
good
was at one
looking?
point.
Is he a good looking guy?
No. He looks like Ms. Swan's twin brother.
Okay, because that's like I can't even more than I can't be massaged.
You don't want your wife massaged by a hot dude.
Absolutely not.
All right.
I don't need the comparison.
So let's fast
You're
forward.
going home with me. That's it.
Let's fast forward. Massage is
worry
done.
about Rocky.
What if she doesn't go home? I'm.
So massage is done. We're now getting dressed to leave, right? So now, like, you're real relaxed. So
Wait,
now,
did you go?
go? No,
Full Monty?
No, dude,
Okay.
no. Boxers on. I mean, they pull them down a little bit. Anyway,
what happened to you? What happened? Because there might be a crime that you.
that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, like,
We're gonna have
I
to suspend you indefinitely.
should file a complaint.
Did the guy
Wait, dude, it
come
gets
over
better.
and join?
You ain't even done laughing at this yet, right? So now you're done, right? You're fully relaxed. And as I'm getting dressed, I'm looking. So they have a bureau that has like all like the essential oils that you're,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
that's the good stuff.
the diffuser, the lotions.
Rocky
Mouth-
doesn't know about that.
Wait, mouthwash,
Okay. All right.
dude. There was mouthwash. So I go to my wife.
That's weird.
I go, why is there mouthwash on this counter? I'm like, this is a little sketchy. So then we go out, right? And we had to pay beforehand, which was also sketchy. And then they're like, oh, are you going to tip? So then you're like, yeah, I'll get my, I don't carry cash. So I had a card and I was like, I told him what I wanted to tip. So he's like, all right, here, I'll get you to sign. So I went to follow him to the back. They go, no. Stay out here. Stay out here. We'll bring the card back. Well, he comes back with a woman who is in like an old, like, nurse's uniform, like the kind that like button all the way down.
Like a skirt?
No, the
okay.
full on like dress button down thing.
Okay.
And they have me sign the tip. So then after we leave, my wife's like, do you think places like that really exist? And I'm like, yeah, they definitely do.
Oh, yeah, they definitely
I think
do.
you
Right,
were in
Rocky?
one. Let me ask you a question.
No, we were, because she Googles and she comes across this website called rubmaps.com, and it hits on rubmaps.com, which is apparently places where there's lingo. Like you said, maybe he just said, I want a happy ending or whatever, right? So there's lingo, right? Like, I want full service. I want
So
this, I
you
want
said
that.
something wrong without knowing you said it wrong. That made her get up on your back.
Maybe. I don't know. But I tell you what, man, I am loose as anything.
Let me ask you a question.
Another one.
Did you black out at any point during this massage?
No.
Because something happened. There's a video of you on the internet on one of those fetish sites right
Really?
now.
What's the name of the site,
I
Rocky?
think 6'4" white guys.
Wow.
.com. I don't know, but I.
Well, here's the question I think everybody's wondering. Did you use the mouthwash?
I didn't.
That's terrible.
No.
All right.
That's a terrible question.
Terrible.
Anyway, so
So nobody's listening still.
I don't know. He's either super guilty or super innocent.
Yeah. So afterwards, I got to know what this place is called.
Yeah.
Just because I'm curious now.
All right, I'll let you guys know afterwards.
All right. So let's get to the NFC West.
West.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a
NFC
little,
West.
I'm a little
NFC
hot and
West.
bothered rehashing that now.
So who wants to go first? Phil, you want to?
I'll go first. The 49ers didn't do, I mean, they did a lot. They just, same things when we were talking about Vegas last week. They signed a lot of guys. They went and got Trent Richardson, and they signed, I think, Mosley, the cornerback. I'm not going to run all the names down, but they didn't get any skill position players. I think the big thing that we really got to look forward to with them is, are they going to roll with Garoppolo? They're going to get Mac Jones, Trey Lance. They got all their skill position players kind of set. You got Devo there. I think they did. Did they re-sign Kendrick Bourne? Did I see that right?
No,
Kendrick
Bourne went to New
to
England.
New
Okay,
England,
so
yeah.
I got bad info. Don't use Google, fellas. But yeah, so I mean, I know they did re-sign Tevin Coleman. Is that right?
No,
Another Google mistake.
Tevin Coleman went out to the
Were you
Jets.
Googling like
I was
Googling 2020?
all right. So
He
listen.
Googled 3 months ago is what happened.
Here, Honesty Street, okay? Right before we came out, I just wanted to double check if I missed anybody. And I seen
What, I thought we
Kendrick
were in the
Bourne and
trust
Tevin
tree
Coleman. I was
in
like,
the
well,
nest,
this
are we
doesn't make
not?
sense. But I said maybe they read up with.
Yeah, no. Remember, we had this whole long conversation about Kendrick Bourne going to New England.
Oh wow.
Tevin Coleman is where?
The Jets.
The Jets, and you mentioned.
And we did talk about both of those.
Yeah, and
guys.
we talked about how he was done.
Do you know more about the Cardinals? You want to trade? I'll trade
Alcohol's
you.
a hell of a drug, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But no, I mean, yeah. As far as skill position players, they
So-
really didn't do much.
So then we always do this, right? We ask your
Ayuk.
three. Your three. Who are your three? Because I think they're going to stick with Garoppolo this year. I think whoever they draft at quarterback, they're going to give them a chance to compete, but their idea is to bring them along slowly.
I think if they draft a quarterback, they're trading Garoppolo.
He could be
I
right.
agree.
Draft night.
I think it depends who they draft. If they draft Mac or Justin Fields, I think they trade day one starter.
They
I think if
traded-
I think they're trade. Here's what I
Did they trade
they're-
into the 3?
Did they?
Or did they have it?
they traded up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is what.
Yeah,
They're
traded
still They were in the Super Bowl a year ago, before last year. They still have a Super Bowl roster. They're in the Super Bowl window. If they will get a rookie quarterback, they're not getting him to bring him along.
Yeah, but
They're going to trade
but you
Garoppolo to
cannot-
get assets.
But you can't expect because you think they might draft Trey.
No, I think they might draft Jones.
Okay, so
You
Jones,
think Trey?
No, I do not. I think
I thought you
they
said
should
Trey.
draft Justin Fields.
I think they're going to draft Justin Fields personally.
I think here's why I think Jones. I think he fits. He could play in that offense quicker than I think
I did look.
Lance or Fields.
I did watch a lot of film on Mac Jones last 2 weeks ago because you mentioned you feeling that he was a good quarterback, and we did our draft.
Just there's a caveat to it. I said
if he's with San Francisco.
if he's with San Francisco, it depends where he goes. Yeah,
He was better than I thought. He did look to have the necessary arm. He's not a great arm, but he's got a good arm. Yeah. He is not mobile.
no.
He comes from a pro style offense.
Comes from a pro
He's a
style
pocket
offense.
passer,
Yeah.
intermediate.
He was
he's
accurate. Yeah, it was very
That's
accurate.
what they want.
I counted the majority of his snaps. He had 4 seconds or more to throw, which
That's
is
fair.
worrisome.
Yeah.
But I came away thinking he's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
So I could see why Shanahan might like him more than Justin. But the rumor is now that they are also thinking about Trey. And if they draft Trey, he is not ready. He's
No,
not.
That's
he's
why
not.
it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And with Mac Jones, I mean, if you think about Mac Jones, even though he had all that time, he played with some very dynamic playmakers
did.
too on the outside.
He did.
And that will transition to San Fran very easily because Debo, Ayuk, both dynamic wide receivers. Ayuk, and then you got George Kittle, man. I mean, you're talking. There's your other top 2.
Yeah, you're way better looking brother.
And you've got a defense that can still get it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're legit, and they got a great coaching staff. So I'm saying they're ready to win.
Give me 3.
3, well, the Kittle man, obviously. Man, I'd probably go Debo, even though I like Ayuk. I'll go Debo, and I would
I just like saying Debo.
Debo Samuel is a great name.
You got knocked though.
It's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
I don't know, man. It's tough for that third one.
You're not touching the backfield. The backfield's a
No,
mess.
I mean, I might have to go. Ayuk.
Yeah.
Ayuk, Samuel, and
I'm gonna
Ayuk, Debo, and Kittle.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. All 3 because the backfield's a mess. Mostert was actually, he's had some very good games when he's healthy, but
Can't stay on the field.
can't stay on the field. But Jeff Wilson filled in beautifully. But what scares me is Jeff Wilson's also, this is like year 5 for Jeff Wilson. Why has he not been a factor before now? So that backfield, a little worrisome. And then obviously the quarterback position, who the hell knows what's going on.
What about you, Rocky? Who's the 3 guys that you want the most?
I would definitely go Kittle. I do feel pretty strongly about Ayuk, but I'm actually going to argue and say I would go Mostert. I think he's got a lot of upside if he can get. Listen, no running back makes it 16 games.
So let me ask
if
you
he
real
can get
quick.
12 games, I think he's a top 15, top 10 running back.
Are you saying it as a value pick, or is like would you take him top 7 rounds?
Mostert?
Yeah,
Top 7 rounds.
I'm saying are you saying throwing Mostert in there is because of the value,
I think he's
or do you think he'll
Because you are going to get value.
Do you get
on
what
it.
I'm saying? Yeah, like obviously the value for Mostert is kind of like what we were saying about Carr last week, right? You know, the value, and he winds up being somewhere.
I think
Whatever, but-
he's somebody you get a round later than the other running backs who could actually challenge to be in the top.
Where's Mostert going?
For sure. Mostert is going a little
Third
bit
round,
like
second round.
No, mid rounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like
so
6, 7, 8?
Right around there. Yeah.
I think he's proven that when he's healthy and if he can put together 12 games with his touchdowns, good receiver, good running back, I think he's going to perform pretty well.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to transition us to the next. I'm going to take Seattle.
Oh yeah, the Birds.
The Birds, yeah. So they had kind of an up and down.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. It does appear that Russell wants to be there again, right?
Yeah,
That's
weird
good.
guy.
What's Mr. Unlimited? Why am I?
Oh, that's
Really?
it. Unlimited.
You don't know Russell? I'll show you after the show.
All
See,
right.
That's what he always says. Yeah.
Man.
charm school.
Seattle signed, notable players that they picked up were Gerald Everett. I think one of the most important signings is they re-signed Chris Carson.
Oh, for sure.
Chris Carson is one of those guys that you kind of forget, but last year in 12 games, and he was injured for a bunch of those games, still had almost 700 yards on 141 attempts.
That's great.
5 touchdowns. He had 37 receptions, almost 300 yards, another 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I love Carson.
Yeah.
So 9 TDs.
And you know what? Those catches aren't flukes either. He's made some catches downfield too.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he actually has. I checked his stats. So even in 2019, he had 37 receptions for the entire 16. He played 16 games.
Which is amazing for him.
Yeah. So the fact that he had in 12 games,
About the
really
same.
shows
Comparable
that
numbers.
his usage was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really big
I agree.
I think
signing.
I think he's
especially with
one of
them
the
losing Hyde.
he's one of the most underrated running backs in the league for sure.
And you know what I love about him? If you're just a football fan, like fantasy aside, watching him run the ball,
Oh yeah.
it's just he's a nice guy to watch run the ball.
Yeah.
Well, and he runs tough, and I think that's why he gets hurt. Like I think he does need to kind of know when to go down a little bit. But
Hey, man,
I think
you just got to ride the wheels till they fall off. You got
that's
to be
fair.
who you are.
that's fair. And they lost Hyde. Hyde had 81 attempts, so even if he gets
Half
40 of those,
it's nice.
it's
Yeah.
a big deal. And then I think Gerald Everett is somebody you got to look at. He is a little bit long in the tooth, and he's never been a great tight end, but he's always shared duties with other tight ends.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: in that offense, has there ever been?
A tight end.
When we think of a
that's-
tight end that's been productive,
I mean, Jimmy Graham, right?
was he productive though?
They keep getting tight ends late in the game though. Greg Olsen, Jimmy Graham.
Because I don't
Like,
think
they're
that
never,
offense. I don't think it's really.
centered around the tight
Yeah,
end.
I don't think it's a priority for them.
I think
And
it
I think
depends on how
Metcalf
good.
takes those red zone targets. I mean,
I think it just depends on how good their line is. If they have a similar line to what they had last year,
yeah.
then I think Everett and Carson are going to get those dump off passes because Wilson's in trouble.
Yeah.
And Everett is somebody who's proven he can.
Well, that's fair.
He's a decent receiver. Otherwise, they lost Hyde, as I mentioned. They lost Dorsett and David Moore, all those receivers. So it should mean that they're probably drafting somebody. I would imagine at wide receiver, but they still have Everett and Metcalf and Lockett. So
Yeah.
everybody else they lost or signed were on defense. Those were really the only skill position players. So I would turn it to you, Mark. Tell me your 3.
All right. I do like Carson. I like Carson a lot. Rashad Penny seems like a guy that they try to factor in though every year. But talk about someone who can't stay on the field. Penny can't stay on the field. So of those 80 some touches that are up for grabs, I think they're going to give Penny a shot to kind of factor in there.
Yeah.
But I do like Carson. I mean, my God, six yards a carry, just about. Yeah. I mean, you can't argue with that.
9 touchdowns in a 12-game season.
Yeah.
They'd take that all day.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm going to go out with, so you gotta go with Russ, right? You gotta let Russ cook, as they say. He's got targets, he's got wheels, he's got vision, and he's doing it all as an undersized quarterback in this league. And I think Russ puts up good points. Metcalf very dynamic receiver. The knock on him was, maybe his hands aren't great. Maybe he's raw. He's not pure. He comes out second season, man. He shuts everybody up. He says, look what I can do.
That's a man.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, fast.
That play where
Happy he's not my urologist.
Yeah, that play where he runs down Tyrann Mathieu is just, that's just insane.
Well, he looks like an android.
It's crazy. I mean, you look at him and you're like, holy shit, how there's not many people that are that like freakishly strong and fast.
Right. Well, there's a receiver coming out of this year's draft, and he doesn't play for a Power 5 school, I believe, but he reminds me so much of Metcalf. I'm blanking on his name, but he's another 6'4", who during his pro day ran a 4.32.
Oh, wow.
That was
215 pounds, 6'4".
That wasn't Rondell Moore, was it?
No, Rondell Moore, Purdue.
Yeah,
is a really small. He actually had a 42-inch vertical, but I think he's only about 5'8".
Oh, good Lord!
So he's a short receiver, but
yeah, I don't know much about him other than he was supposed to be one of the most dynamic receivers last year, and then he opted out.
Single-handedly beat the Buckeyes 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Single-handedly, it was 3 years ago when it was the quarterback from the Washington. I'm blanking. Dwayne Haskins.
Oh yeah, the next coming.
Yeah. Third guy that I'm going to give you, Tyler Lockett. You just don't sit Tyler Lockett. It seems like every time in fantasy football you sit Tyler Lockett is the game that he has 18 targets and has 14 receptions for 190 yards.
I think in a best ball league, that's probably a great receiver to have.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett is. I think he's also he's the veteran there, so he's the most seasoned. He's probably got the best chemistry with Russ, and Russ feels very comfortable with him, and I think Lockett again produces this year as well.
So Phil, what about you?
I'd say no on Lockett because I do agree with you. Best ball, I like him a lot, but I mean, following him last year, it's just you never knew what you were gonna get. Right. And me personally, I just don't like those kind of headaches on my roster, especially week to week, where like you say, you sit him that week, you get burned, and then you play him and he doesn't do well. Whatever the case is, it just makes you start, like, in season, it makes you start questioning, like, your strategy,
right? Who
you're starting, and then, you're switching in guys here, and you're trying to force them into the flex. And I'd rather have a guy that's going to give me, especially when I'm building my roster, I'd rather have a guy like Metcalf that I could kind of almost count on. He's going to get red zone looks.
You're starting every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just ride or die with him. Like, Lockett is it's just a different thing. So, no Lockett, Metcalf. I got to go Carson, and I probably go Russ because, I just feel like he's still going to be in the mix for, like, a top 7 quarterback.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. That's my 3 biggest mistake I made last year in my Dynasty League of record is I had Metcalf and Lockett. I needed to get rid of one because I knew I would never start both, and I got rid of the wrong guy. I traded Metcalf for a first-round pick, and I forget what else I got, but what I got didn't work out. And then, Lockett was one game he won for me, and then 4 games in a row he didn't, and it just was frustrating.
And like I said, it's crazy because that famous game that he had last year was like 18 catches for like 180 yards, I think, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think there was a stat though. After that game, he went like 4 games where he
was like
averaging like 3 catches a game.
Super ineffective.
It's sad because he is a true number 1 on a team that can't treat him that way. I think he could go to many other teams and be a clear-cut number 1. I think he's got all the skills. He's just never going to be that red zone guy with Seattle because of Metcalf.
He came out of where? TCU, right? Isn't that where Lockett's from?
I would be guessing.
Or is it Kansas State?
It's about the same. So, yeah.
So, all right, Mark, why don't you lead us into your team, and I'll check and see where Lockett played.
All righty. I got the Cardinals here playing out in the desert. They had quite the active offseason as far as skill positions are concerned. They bring in AJ Green, who
Kansas State.
I thought it was. After I said TCU, it felt wrong, and I thought it might have been Kansas State.
They feel the same though.
Yeah, I am the smartest man alive. It's just I can't deny that. AJ Green, we talk about people getting long and
long where?
Wow, that went super loud.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Rocky,
Turning up your headsets.
What are you doing, Rocky?
I want him to feel the pain that we feel. So
What the
Oh
hell?
man,
Jesus.
is it that bad? that was super loud. Is it loud? Am I that loud in your headphones?
yes.
Yeah. All right. So AJ Green.
Oh man.
What were you going to say about him?
So getting a little long in the tooth, AJ Green is. But you're hoping, the guy for me is sentimental. AJ Green's been there. He's done that. He's done it on pretty bad teams, and he's always been like the consummate professional, coming off 2 pretty injury-plagued seasons, 2 pretty bad injuries. Now he gets a chance to go out to the desert, play alongside of DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best in the game, play against play with another consummate professional in Larry Fitzgerald. And you're playing in an offense that likes to air the ball out. So AJ Green, if there is anything left in the tank and he can come back from injury, I think, this is the perfect landing spot for AJ Green. The other big notable change was, they let go of Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Which, proved to me, I've always been high on Chase Edwards. I think he's the better running back. And then they go out just this last week and they signed John Connor, who I never liked anyway. I mean, I think Connor, he got that free pass after Le'Veon left in the fact that nobody really game planned for Connor. And I think that's how he ended up with so many, statistical fantasy upside points that you've seen him drop off since. So I'm not sold on Connor coming out to the desert. I think Chase Edmonds is probably still the guy there, and I'm going to stand behind Edmonds saying that for the value that you get on him, I think he's going to end up producing the best out of that backfield. That's my take. Is it going to happen? We don't know. Remains to be seen. But I like Edmonds compared to Connor. And then obviously on the defensive side of the ball, they bring in J.J. Watt. What's that going to do? He's also long in the tooth. They brought in some older folks here, which you wonder what they're doing there because they do have a younger nucleus.
I think that they feel like they can.
They need some leadership. That's what I
that
think
can get them to
they're
the
probably going
playoffs. That can get them,
Yeah, and that's fair. And I mean, I think the one key component that they're missing out there is at the tight end position. I think they need to get, they had a perfect chance to go out and get, one of these pretty dynamic tight ends, but then the whole entire league just allowed the AFC East to suck up all these tight ends. New England being the biggest culprit, getting 2 of them.
Bud Light, suck one.
Oh man,
No, just leave it alone, Rocky. You don't do it after I say it. Right? I'm just calling you out.
I apologize. If
I gotta do
Suck
it.
one.
Nice. Man, I apologize. My voice is this loud in your headphones. Holy crap!
Yeah. Deal with it.
Good Lord.
They pick 16th, so
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts will not be there.
No, Kyle Pitts will not. But at the 16th position, maybe they have a little bit of wiggle room to move up there.
Yeah.
Because who really? I mean, is somebody really going to spend the top 5 pick on a tight end? I
think Cincinnati
don't know.
might, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that'd be a great landing spot. Honestly, if
I
somebody's
don't
going to
think
do
Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going in Jamar Chase. I believe.
I hope
that.
not. I'm hoping somehow, some way he falls.
Well, what do you guys pick?
11.
Yeah, there's no chance.
it, yeah, Chase isn't falling to 11.
Yeah, it's no chance.
That's
But
his dream. Let me dream.
yeah, but on it, and no, I can't even see Pitts. Pitts isn't going to drop either. I will say this: I did about 7 mock drafts last night on the Browns
Yeah.
to try to see what they could get, and I'm telling you, after the top 15 picks, it drops off, and you're taking some chances.
Yeah.
It just does. Like, there's a big difference, like a cornerback. Like, I think you guys might take J.C. Horn.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen.
I think he's at 26. It would be a great pick for the Browns. Where you're picking, I think it's
We went and got a Dory Jackson.
Yeah,
I
your
just don't see
secondary is
it,
kind of
yeah.
solid. As a matter of fact, you guys just let loose somebody this past week in your secondary.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
yeah. But they're a lot of the mock drafts are saying they're going to go J.C.
Who
Horn.
gives a shit what they say?
Well, yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about.
So
All
if we're
right,
gonna
They put out like 6 of those things.
yeah, they do. Fair.
So who we going, right?
So DeAndre, obviously, you're going DeAndre. I'm gonna stand. No, you're not going DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, I'm just messing with you.
You definitely going DeAndre Hopkins. I'm gonna stand behind the Chase Edmonds call because I think with the value that you're gonna get Chase Edmonds, I think you're not you're probably not drafting him to be one of your 2 starting running backs, but if you get him to fill in potentially as a flex or the plug and play,
Yeah.
I think Chase Edmonds is very good there. And then Kyler Murray. Got to go Kyler. Kyler, those mobile quarterbacks, man, they're worth their weight. I mean, he doesn't weigh much because he's about 4'2", but
Yeah.
they're definitely.
I don't like that. You're always talking about the height thing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, well,
It's like, I mean, is that all you got going for you, the height?
well, you can relate. That's why you're mad at me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just speaking up for the little guy.
That's all right. That's fine.
What's
You
that
can
all about?
you can stand on your stepladder and tell me all about it. I'm willing to listen.
I would go Kyler Murray. I do think I'm gonna be honest. I think Kyler Murray has a short NFL career.
I like that. Nice play on words.
Yeah, no. I just think the way he runs, he's gonna get hurt. He's just gonna get hurt. But I think you choose him. I like Hopkins. I don't like Hopkins, but I think you have to choose him. Chase Edmonds. The thing that I keep going back to is the people that see him every day in practice keep getting other running backs to share that backfield. What are they seeing that we don't? Because we see him in an NFL game. He looks great. It seems like he's the obvious choice, but then the next week they go back to Kenyon. They do sign Connor, who is a back like Chase. He can catch passes.
Yeah.
So that worries me a little bit. But like you said, if you get him in the mid rounds, it's worth every penny. I don't know that I have a third on Arizona. That's kind of what I came away with. It would be definitely those 2. I don't feel strong enough about Green. I think Fitzgerald is 60? I mean, how old is he? He's
He's old.
He's
old.
definitely old.
So if I had to choose a third, it would be Chase. But I'm very nervous about that.
Yeah, so obviously I go Kyler. Man, I like Hopkins. I just, yeah, so I go Hopkins. You got to go Hopkins. So forget the stupid thoughts I'm having. But Hopkins, Murray, and then I'm like in the middle between Connor, because I do think they went out and got it. The same thing you were saying. It's concerning that they keep one. If Evans is the guy, you just go draft another back. You don't go out and get James Conner.
Yeah.
And why did they bring him in? I still think there's a chance that he has the same role that Drake had. And if that's the case, then I would take him over Edmonds. Who knows if I'm wrong or not. And then my other thought is that maybe Green has a decent year and he's a guy you could plug in your flex. It depends, if you get some value for him. I don't know how that's going to go, but, I mean, it's just I feel like I'm picking.
I'm rooting for AJ. Though.
Yeah, me too. I just feel like it's
problem with
that
AJ
third spot
last year is last year he got the targets. It wasn't that he didn't get targets.
But he's coming off of two years with pretty terrible injuries. I mean, to say you're to game speed is one thing, but to actually be at game speed as this game gets bigger and faster every year, I mean, that's a whole different ball game. It's tough, and especially as you get older. I mean, he's 30, 31?
Yeah.
I think he might be older. I think he might be 30.
Oh, no, yeah, he's like maybe 32.
Is he?
Oh, 33, something like. All right, so yeah, but I would probably go Connor. So probably go Connor, Murray, and Hopkins.
So the one thing we all agree on is definitely that Kyler Murray's short, right? I mean, that's
He is short, but I mean, way cooler.
know-
Yeah, AJ is 32.
You know what he reminds me of? You ever see that? You ever see that meme that I'm fast as F boy, and it's
Oh yeah.
you should definitely you should put that clip in with us talking about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, the little dogs they do that with. That's
All
what
right.
I've seen.
Why don't we move on to the last team we're going to cover today, the LA Rams.
Yeah, this
They-
should be interesting.
Yeah, so, I think they're one of the best teams. I would have said they're one of the best teams. They picked up a great quarterback, right? They traded out and got Stafford, so that looks pretty promising. They have got good receivers. They've got a promising back. But they lost 11 players. 11 players they lost. Their defense was ravaged by other teams. And that defense last year, number one in the league, it kind of scares me a little bit because a lot of they had some games where their offense wasn't jiving and they were kept in that game by the defense. When they played the Buccaneers, the defense won that game. At first I would have said, oh, wow, they signed Leonard Floyd. Okay. They signed Deshaun Jackson. I like that pick up a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do think Deshaun is going to add something that they haven't really had in that offense, because I see Cooper Kupp and
Robert Woods.
Robert Woods as being similar receivers, possession, really good at running routes, but they haven't really had that deep threat.
If he could play 11, 12 games, it'd be nice.
Yeah, because I mean, he hasn't lost his speed.
No.
I like they re-signed Johnny Munt to kind of take over for Gerald Everett, who they lost. But I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about losing that many players on their defense. I just am. It's a lot. And they lost a lot of their good players.
Now you throw in the fact, I don't know if you guys read this, but Aaron Donald's apparently in a lot of trouble this week too. There's accusations that he had assault. So I mean that's looming too, because you know how the NFL feels about that. I
mean, he didn't assault a woman, so I think this will come and go.
Yeah, it's different when
he just beat up a guy, and we don't like. And what's funny is that this happened like maybe 5 years ago with Darrelle Revis.
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh too. This is where this happened.
Everything always happens in Pittsburgh.
So that's where he's he played for Pitt, and he's over there, whatever. So apparently, said a guy bumped him in the club, went outside, beat him. These kind of things, I know if you've ever been out, we really don't know what happened. I don't think it'll be a big deal, but it is in the news now, so I get why you brought it up. Obviously,
they broke the cardinal rule, though.
It's going to be something. It could be a couple game suspension. Who knows?
I mean, but it's supposed to be what happens in the club stays in the club. They totally broke the golden rule.
Jesus.
Anyways, I don't have much else to add on the Rams. I would say I'll go first here. My 3 would be Stafford. I actually am really high on Cam Akers. We didn't get a big sample, but that last 5 games kind of led me to believe he could be a starting running back. And I don't know who I would pick on the receivers. I tend to prefer Cooper Kupp because he tends to be a really good possession receiver, and he's a red zone threat. But last year it was just too hard to tell between the two. Robert Woods outplayed Cooper Kupp last year, so I'd probably lean toward Robert Wood this year.
What about you?
I'll
put it on you.
So for me, this is a team, honestly, that I think is poised to break out offensively, and they're loaded with stars. It's really going to be really hard to just pick 3. Stafford's value is really good right now in redraft leagues. He is not one of the first 10 quarterbacks taken off the board. So you can hang around, draft a really good squad, and hopefully be the first one to get him right around around 10, 11, 12, somewhere there. I also like Cam Akers. I don't think you go and let Malcolm Brown go, and then I don't know that they've re-signed Henderson yet if you're not believing in Cam Akers. Small sample size, but you're talking about a guy that's going to get the lion's share. He's a receiving running back, and now bringing in Stafford, who's obviously...
Who likes a check down running back,
Yeah, he's going to go through his progressions, man. So Akers is going to be good. That receiving core, I love. Robert Woods, every time you're like, man, he started his career in Buffalo. He's really nobody. He's getting older. This is the year that he sucks, right? That dude keeps getting better, man. I don't know what it is. Robert Woods keeps getting better. And Cooper Kupp, when he's healthy, you're going to get a good Cooper Kupp. But if he's ailing, you don't know what you're going to get, right? Deshaun Jackson, I've never liked Deshaun Jackson. He might stretch the field a little bit and open up even some more of those under routes for Kupp. And then Higbee, man, you got to talk about the tight end. True. You got to talk about the tight end because Stafford loves his tight ends. And Higbee being the de facto starter now, Higbee had a great season 2 years ago. Last year fell off because a lot of people that season 2 years ago, people were real high on him last year, and a lot of people lost a lot of leagues because of that. If you were forcing me to pick 3, I'm going Robert Woods because I'm real high on Robert Woods this year. I'm going Cam Akers because I think even though his ADP might be slightly high, I mean, I'm watching him go on the back end of round 1, high round 2, might be a little high, but I still think the floor is high, and I think the ceiling could be a lot higher. Then if I had to pick 3rd, I'm going Kupp, man, because I think that offense is going to throw the ball.
So you would not pick Stafford right now?
No, I mean, I would pick Stafford, but the 3 guys that I'm going to go out and get, because I'm willing to take the chance on possibly getting Stafford at the back end of the draft. And if not, I'll get somebody else in that realm. Carson Wentz. You're talking about, we've talked about Fitzmagic, who's probably going to put up a lot of fantasy points because he's not going to give a shit. He's just going to throw the ball around. He's got weapons. So I'm going that receiving core because I know the Rams are going to definitely put the ball in the air this year.
How about you, Phil?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Cam Akers, I think, is a no-brainer. There's a conversation to be had about Stafford, but you make a good point. Earlier rounds, if I'm taking guys now in the draft, I don't know if I take Kupp and Woods, but I probably would prefer Kupp over Stafford. And so saying that, I have Woods ranked a little bit ahead of Kupp because I just think as far as fitting the mold of what Stafford's been successful with, Calvin Johnson, Marvin Jones, Galladay, these are all larger receivers that could go up and get it. Even though Woods is a good route runner.
That's a good point,
on the edge, that's the kind of, he had Amendola over there. He had a couple smaller guys and just really never clicked. So if I've never seen them on the field before, that's kind of what I go. I just try to fit the mold of the guys he's been successful with. So I go Woods is my number 2, Akers, Woods, and then I probably slot Kupp in same way you would, and then Stafford, just because you could get him later.
Well, the thing about me is I think that there's going to be some people that could possibly win their leagues based on taking Stafford late, which will allow them to get somebody really good in another round.
Absolutely.
The thought is Stafford has been the greatest quarterback on a terrible team for years. That's been the thought. So now he's on a great team, and I think some of their deletions on defense actually helps their offense because they're going to be playing from behind some.
That's fair.
They're not going to have that dominant defense. So I think Stafford, if you can get him after that top 15, 10 quarterbacks, you're going to maybe get a find. Somebody could be a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, Stafford is like this generation's Dan Marino.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the fact that you have a quarterback that could be absolutely dominant if you surround him with the right people. Other than Dan Marino's, rookie season, I don't know. It never clicked there with them. Yeah. And he had some weapons, too, throughout his career. And he was always a fantastic quarterback.
Favorite quarterback growing up, Dan Marino.
Yeah, me too. That's the reason why I wore 13.
Cradle of quarterbacks.
Softball?
Field hockey.
Oh, okay.
It's wrestling.
Mud wrestling.
Euro.
They wear numbers wrestling. In mud wrestling?
Yeah. On my boxers when I get massages at Sketchy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. So let's talk about, Phil, tell us what we're going to be talking about next week.
What are we talking about next week? NFC South, AFC South?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So
hey guys, we saved the worst for last.
What are you doing, Rocky? You asked me to say something. You cut me off.
He's trying to get the timing of the fading the music
I don't know
out,
what
right?
he's doing. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
Forget it. The moment's passed.
I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, please, YouTube, Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room, like and subscribe. On Instagram, The Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. Also, follow us there. Comment on YouTube. We appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, obviously, about fantasy, let us know.
Go to our website, and Mark will be putting on that massage parlor.
Rubmaps.com.
Rubmaps.com.
Find us there.
That's where we found Mark.
Dude, that's an actual website. I could not believe she found it. She was floored that she found it, too. So funny.
Wait, did she book this massage?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the music.
Wait.
I can play it again.
Play it again. All right, well, hey, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks for listening. Peace.